Hello my friend, this is Joseph Punnu. What's up? I hope you're having a wonderful day out there. You know, today I've decided to share my best MLM sponsoring scripts with you, no holds barred. Alright, now I've never done this before. Of course, I do it on a one-to-one coaching session or in group sessions where actually we get into practicing the entire scripting, because it's not about knowing what to say but also to say it effectively and the right way and the right time and so on and so forth, right? But today I've decided to put them all in a document and give it to you right away so that you could go in and practice. Now, this is something that I've broken into three areas, basically categories, or people who speak, so to say, to understand it. And one is what you would say as a network marketer, and number two is what your prospect would say, and number three is how would you respond to that, right? So maybe the conversation is initiated by the prospect or by you, but in either case, how do you really turn around the conversation to a way that you want it to be going on, all right? So the whole document is there, and I believe it's a 9-page document with a lot of information and details. But what I'd like to do right now is just to take one or two or a couple of examples really and show you how you should be reading the document and how you should be using it and practicing it and so on, all right? So let's start. Now, one of the first things you do, let's say you've gone for a BNI meeting, right? Or any socializing meeting, right? As a network marketer, your objective should be to grow prospects. But what is it most people do, right? Most people go ahead, the first time they meet somebody, they say, oh, I am into $1 million opportunity and I can show you how to become a millionaire in 2 months' time. Would you like to join my team? I have the best product in the world. My company's compensation is among the best in the world, and so on and so forth, right? And actually what happens is that they blow up the opportunity. They blow up the prospects, even thinking about joining a team right away, right? Because that is never the right way of approaching. You need to do a lot of qualifying the prospect, seeing whether he or she is even open to listening to what you have to offer, seeing whether they are in a situation, position, mindset, or a need to what you are saying, because it's never a case where everybody around you, it's not ever a case where everybody is interested in what you are interested in or what you think is good for them, right? So instead of jumping in and throwing your opportunity at somebody, basically what's the most natural way in which you start, right? You say, well, what do you do, right? You shake hands, you say, well, I'm so and so, I'm so and so, and then the next very natural question is, what do you do, right? Now, what if the prospect is going to ask you first, what do you do, right? Now, most of us get excited, right? We get into launching our entire business model, the company details, product details, compensation plans. Even if you're somebody who's just joined and never made $1 out of it, we get into launching the beauties and wonders of the particular product or company and compensation. And we need to realize one thing. When somebody says, what do you do? What are they really asking for? They really don't want to know what you're doing. They really are not interested in listening to what you are saying. What they're really interested in is that you should ask them back, what are you doing, so that they get an opportunity to speak about it, right? But then the guy has asked you, what do you do? So you just can't say, well, forget about me, you tell me what you do, right? That's not the way. So what you would do is, you could start by saying, for example, well, I'm a software engineer at Microsoft. I'm not, by the way, I'm just giving you an example. So you could say that I'm a software engineer at Microsoft, but I also have a side project on the side. What do you do, by the way, right? So you've answered him in a crisp, short, lovely way, but you are immediately doing the rollback, all right? You are doing the rollback, and you are showing that you are interested in knowing about the other person, right? You're genuinely interested in knowing about the other person, right? So this is the way the whole document that I'm sharing with you, as in JP, Joseph Punnu's MLM scripts, right? Sponsoring scripts along with this. This is an example of that. And let me give you one more example. Okay, now here is something that really is very common. Now, you might go and tell them, right, a very nice qualifying statement. If I show you something that might possibly help you achieve your dreams, would you be interested to look at it, right? Don't tell them that, here is an opportunity that's going to work with you. No. You don't even know whether it will, right? For that particular person, because unless they work, they're not going to be winning that. They're not going to be successful at that. So you just say, well, if I have an opportunity which might possibly help you achieve your dreams, would you be interested to look at it? And then the person goes, what is it? And what do you immediately say? Most people would immediately jump into that, And here is how most people would say, oh my goodness, man, I am into a real ground floor opportunity. It's triple binary, We have people winning Mercedes cars every 5 minutes. My upline even got, a private yacht as a prize that he won in the contest, and so on and so forth. But what are you exactly telling that person is that, you know what, I'm desperate. I somehow want to convince you to join my downline, right? That is a message you are sending across. So that is not at all what you should be saying, right? On the contrary, you should be saying, well, I'll get around to it in a moment. But just curious, are you even really open to looking at that opportunity, right? So never jump into launching your business model, unless you know that the person is really qualified and willing and ready to look at what you have to say, right? Okay, so this is another example, and what else can I tell you, right? Sometimes you have tools that your company has provided you, maybe a book, maybe an audio CD, video, DVD, whatever, right? And you tell them, well, I can send you or a webinar, right? And you tell them that I could send this over to you, and I want you to see that, right? Now, most people ask them, when do you think you could see that? Now, that's a very, very comfortable position that you're putting the other person in, right? So instead of saying when, and they could have a chance of saying, well, after 1 month, right? You want to ask them, how soon can you watch this, all right? And then the person goes, well, I'm actually very busy right now. I've got to wash my car. I got to shampoo my cat. I need to run a few errands for my family, and so on and so forth. So let's say I could watch it in about 45 days. Now, what would most network marketers say? Oh, cool, man, no problems at all. Don't worry, I'll have it sent across to you right away, and just take your time whenever you can watch that. But that's not what you should be saying. You should be always in control and showing that, yes, you want people in your team, but you want people who are serious about winning. You want people who are keen to do their part to achieve the dream and so on, right? And therefore you go, well, that's cool, buddy, but you know what? It doesn't sound like you're exactly in a hurry, to restructure what you're doing right now and work towards your dreams. So how about if I call you back after a couple of weeks, and if you have the time, we take it forward from there. You know what I mean? So don't ever show your prospect, whether on a phone call or whether you're talking one-to-one or whatever it is, that you are absolutely desperate, right? You need to show them that I'm a professional. I'm serious about my business. I'm willing to help you, but I want you to be willing to help yourself first, right? You commit, I'm with you. You take 1 step, I go 1 step with you. You take 5 steps, I take 10 steps with you, and that kind of that kind of a feeling is what you need to give to your prospect sitting in front of you. All right. Now, okay. Maybe I'll just close it with one more example, right? So you're doing a follow-up and you ask the person, well, did you get a chance to watch the video, right? And the person goes, I did, but I have a few questions, right? And most people would really say, awesome, no problems, come on, man, go ahead with your questions and I will try to clarify all those points, right? This is fine, but a better way of saying that is, oh, perfect, but let me just first ask you, I'm just curious, in what you saw so far, what's the best thing you liked about the whole model? You know what I mean? So you are open to answering questions, But honestly, when somebody decides to start asking questions, it could go on for hours and hours and hours. So we have a duty to clarify everything that the prospect wants to know, but we also want to know whether the person is already convinced on an overall manner, whether they're already serious about taking the next step and so on. So you just tell, what did you like best about what you saw, right? And then that takes it forward. So this is just an introduction to the particular attachment that I've put here, which is all about some wonderful MLM sponsored scripts. I do hope that helps you grow your business phenomenally, all right? Because done it right, this could make you riches and a lot of wealth. But done it wrong, you could be blowing up the opportunity in no time and join the majority of those who lose the game, all right? So I really hope that you like it. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you put it to practice effectively. All right. So get going, buddy. Go through the document. I'm sure you've now understood the way in which it is structured and how you should be looking at it and how you should be applying it in your own, sponsoring discussions and calls. And with that, I'll take you to take action. I'll leave you to take action. Go ahead, enjoy yourself, and go win the world. You're our buddy. You have a great day. This is Joseph Onu signing off.